Good morning, Charleston, and welcome to another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. Thanks for joining me this morning. A lot to talk about today. The market continues to kind of soften a little bit. We've seen activity over the last month that almost mirrors the activity that we'd expect in December. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the market. I want to talk about the process of selling your home and buying another. We have a lot of folks that have kind of come out of the woodwork, so to speak. They've hopped off the fence and said, you know what, we're seeing inventory or options become more plentiful. I think I can actually still sell my home, get a great deal for it, and find something that fits my needs, that I don't have to act in such a ridiculous way in order to even have the opportunity to buy the house, right? Who knows if that'll actually work or not. And so obviously over the past several months, we've seen things shift fairly significantly from very aggressive multiple offer situations where we're waiving home inspections or appraisals, really making some risky moves, to things returning to a sense of normalcy. And so I want to talk about the process of selling your home and buying another, what most people do, what some people get wrong. I want to talk about a few different options you might not have thought about. I want to talk about how to save some time and some money in your real estate transaction, just some things that I've picked up along the way as somebody that's sold real estate for 16 years and done over 1,100 transactions, about $1 billion worth of real estate volume. So I want to give you some benefit from that experience, help you guys understand some of the things that I do to help save people some time and some money. And then I want to talk about property management. We're having a lot of folks that are just priced out of the market. It's 80% more expensive to buy a home now as compared to 3 years ago. And so we've got a lot of folks that just simply cannot afford to buy right now. And so they're being either pushed back into the rental market or staying in the rental market. And obviously the people that own rentals are benefiting. That's why I started a property management company almost a year ago. I saw the writing on the wall there. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the investment side of real estate for just a little while. Now, if at any point in time you guys want to reach out to me, you hear something that you'd like some more information on, maybe you'd like to share a specific scenario with me that you need to work through, maybe you need some contacts, some references, maybe a contractor, or of course, if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. And you've got a team of 20, and I do still sell real estate. I don't know if there's another team out there with my level of experience where the guy that has the name on the sign is actually out still selling real estate. So if I can help you with that, 843-400-8009 is my direct cell phone number. You can call or text that number, 843-400-8009, or check us out online, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. A lot more information on, of course, homes for sale. You can search through that. You can watch, hundreds of versions of this show, which you can also hear on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, so on and so forth. We've got over, I think, 650 videos on YouTube. So a lot of information out there. And that's what this show is all about, is informing consumers about the process of buying, selling, and investing in real estate and what's happening in the market so that you can plan accordingly, so that you're an informed consumer. There aren't many shows like this out there. A lot of them kind of just focus on real estate investing, or they're shows for real estate agents. Not many shows and not a lot of activity out there in this world or in the podcasting world as it relates to consumers. So we wanted to fill that gap, and happy to have been doing the show for, 8 years now, going on 9. So let's talk about this process of selling a home, buying another. We've seen a lot more options hit the market over the course of the past few months. We're seeing inventory rise. We're seeing pending sales slow down. We put about as many homes under contract last month as we typically do around December. So a real kind of drop in activity, and it's been steadily going down. May, June, and July are still supposed to be very busy months, the busiest months for pending sales. And really, that's when the decline started to happen. April and May were about the same, and then from May to now, we're losing about 500-ish transactions a month. In fact, July of 2020, we put 2,352 homes under contract, whereas last month we put a little over 1,500 under contract. So We're definitely seeing demand go down. Of course, that's a result of several things, really. I think one is just a lot of people have already moved. You know, that there has been a mass amount of people that when they were given information that said, hey, you can work from home, meaning you can work from anywhere, meaning you can move. A lot of people said, well, I'm out of here. If my job isn't keeping me here, then I'm going to go somewhere I really want to live. And guess where that place is for a lot of folks? It's Charleston, South Carolina, and rightfully so. This place is awesome. But a lot of people have already made that move. A lot of people that were kind of stuck in their home saying, you know, this space just isn't, if we're going to be working from home, this space doesn't work that well for us. We need to recalibrate. We need to move. And they did. And now they're happy because they're sitting in a home that fits their needs with a 3% interest rate. Or they bought a few years ago and then they refinanced. Maybe they did some work to their house. So I think a lot of people just naturally have moved. But on top of that, you've seen affordability really plummet over the course of the past few months. I mean, if you look at the home affordability index in Charleston, it's sitting at 72. And so that number means that an index of like 72 means that the median household income is 72% of what is necessary to qualify for the median priced home under prevailing interest rates. The higher the number, the more affordable it is. And we have seen a massive drop in affordability starting really January of 2021. And so now we're starting to see things, bounce just a tiny bit as prices soften. And I think a lot of people are thinking that, hey, prices have already started coming down. Well, it might appear that way, but what's happening is the people that are overpriced are starting to realize, hey, I'm not going to get what I want for my house. And if I want to sell, I need to get more serious. And so you're seeing those people bring their prices down to more of a realistic level. We're still not we're not even in a normal market yet. The feel in the market is one of a buyer's market because, I mean, buyers have been waiting a long time to kind of get that green light to behave the way that they always want to behave, which is, hey, I'm going to lowball somebody and I'm going to get a really good deal and I'm going to make them sweat and I'm not going to, it's time for me to take some power back. Well, we're not quite there yet, but we are starting to see just the behavior change. And that's why affordability might be ticking up just a little bit, might be getting a little better, improving. But still, there are a lot of people that have been priced out of the market. I mean, look at what's happening in the rental market right now. But anyways, so with all of this new opportunity, going from less than 1,000 properties for sale in our Tri-County area at any given point in time to now having, 3,000 ish, it's a lot more options. There's a lot more people out there that are saying, hey, now I can actually find something I want and sell my house. That was the challenge. It's been the challenge for years at this point is, I'd like to sell my house, but where am I going to go? I just don't see the options out there that excite me enough to make sense out of moving. I'm not so desperate to sell that I'm going to leave where I'm at right now. I'm going to wait for the right thing to hit the market. And so when we talk about selling a home and buying another, that's really what most people that are not truly motivated or there's no sense of, I'm not going to say not motivated, because moving in and of itself requires a lot of motivation. You can't dip your toe in the water on that one. There's a lot of moving parts associated with moving. But for the people that don't have a huge sense of urgency, meaning, hey, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, nothing's pushing me out of this house. I don't have to sell. I'd like to, though. So for those people, what they typically do is they say, hey, you know what? If I see something I like, then I'll act on it. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but I do want you to understand, and we're going to talk about some of these different options. I want you to understand the likelihood of you being able to accomplish your goals. So if you're the person that says, hey, you know what? If I see something I like, I'll deal with it at that point in time, but I'm not going to put my home on the market. I'm really not going to take any steps to sell my home until I see something worth selling it for so that I can move into something else. Makes sense. The problem is, if you haven't taken any steps to prepare your home for sale. If that, train is not already in motion, from the seller's perspective, from the person whose home you want to purchase, they're inheriting a lot of risk and, frankly, unwanted frustration by taking your offer. Because if you have to sell that home in order to buy something else, now they have to wait for you to not only they got to wait for you to prep your home, list your home, market your home, negotiate a contract, and hope that that contract closes so that you can buy their house. It's a lot of moving parts. And what we've seen, or especially what I've seen for doing this for almost 17 years now, is this domino effect and the things that can go wrong as these dominoes start tipping themselves over, ultimately and hopefully resulting in a closing. So that is the way that most people approach the process. Hey, if I see something I like, I'll make an offer contingent upon selling my house, and then I'll put my home on the market and hope that we can sell it in time to buy that home. There's a little attachment that comes along with those types of deals, and it's called a kick-out clause, meaning even if you find something you like, you still run the risk of getting kicked out of the process. So I want to explain that. I want to talk a little bit more about some creative ways of moving from house A to house B without owning two homes and without becoming homeless, which is always the goal. And something I've never done, by the way. Pretty proud of that. Not that that's a huge feat, but important nonetheless, right? So stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. Again, if you want to reach out to me, 843-400-8009. That's my cell. Call or text that number, 843-400-8009. Or check us out online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.